Alright, so if you watched anything about the history of Taco Bell, you'll learn that Taco Bell is not the first restaurant that Glen Bell opened up. That was a hot dog stand, but this isn't even the first taco restaurant that Glen Bell opened up. Really, that's Taco Tia. So I was watching this Fat Files video on the history of Taco Bell, link in the description by the way, and the gross oversimplification of that video is there was a man that got out of the military, his name was Glen Bell, and he thought it would be a great idea to open up a quick service restaurant in San Bernardino, California. That place ended up being Bell's Hot Dogs, which also sold burgers. Soon after, there started to be a little competition, and there was a new restaurant that opened up called McDonald's. So Glen Bell wasn't going to have that anymore, so he had to come up with a better idea. And so the idea that he came up with was a taco restaurant, because not many Americans have had tacos at that point. He made that taco restaurant, which was named Taco Tia. I'll get to that later. But Taco Tia started expanding more and more and more, and it ended up getting pretty popular in the Inland Empire and Los Angeles region. So he decided to partner up with some Rams players, and they made an all-new restaurant called Taco Bell. That got me intrigued. I was like, I wonder if there's any Taco Tia restaurants left around. There was. One in San Bernardino and one in Redlands. So I was like, that is not too far away. So I went there. This wasn't the first time I went to this specific Taco Tia location, albeit there's only two, but this is the only one I went to. And when I went there first, I was like, I'm gonna try something that I like. And so I got the carne asada fries. I was like, that's pretty good. So I started chowing down, and then they gave me a big ol' bottle of their hot sauce or salsa or whatever, and I put that all over the asada fries, and I was like, that's not really spicy, it tastes a little tomatoey, and I was like, that kind of tastes like chili. And if you watch the Fat Electrician video, you'll learn that it is. It's basically the drippings off of chili. So I was like, that's interesting. It's still pretty good. I like it. And I ate that entire thing. It's like that classic, honestly, Chinese restaurant where they have like a bunch of food and the containers overflowing. They give you a lot of food for the price, which I gotta respect. So the second time I went was also with asada fries, and I went with my dad, and same song and dance. It was great. Drank a Coca-Cola. Everything's fine. Third time I went, I was like, you know what? I want to try like the classic hard shell taco, because that's where it was practically invented, kind of. That's where it was popularized. So I started chowing down. I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. This is a pretty good taco. It has a lot of meat, it has a lot of cheese, and it has a lot of lettuce. So I put some of that salsa on there, and bada bing bada boom, it's overall pretty good. I don't know why places like Taco Bell and Taco Tia and Del Taco, they put the cheese on top of the lettuce, because the cheese just ends up falling off. I guess it's kind of my fault, but I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of that. So I had 3 tacos. All were pretty good. A lot of the cheese fell off and I was kind of sad. But then on the side I had a combo cup. I was like, I have no idea what this is. So I started chowing down. I was like, this is chili. Which is good. It's honestly good. It's a pretty decent chili. They had a lot of cheese on there. and the cheese got nice and melty, and I was like, you know what? I mess with this. This is good. So, overall, should you go there? I honestly think so, because the location I went to at first was closed down, but then it was bought by, I think, the owner's son, who, I don't know how far along the company was after Glen Bell sold it, but overall I thought it was pretty good. I definitely suggest y'all go check it out if you're ever in the San Bernardino or Redlands area, because it's a cool piece of history. Now, walking around the store overall, it's a little bit flash to the past, because when I first walked in there for the very first time during my hour break at work, I was like, this kind of reminds me of an old Taco Bell, because it has the green and it has red, and it's like more retro, not really neon, but more retro colors. And I was like, just add some purple, and this is a old school Taco Bell. And when I walked over, there was a bunch of newspaper clippings. Well, a bunch, I put in quotes, but there was newspaper clippings of the Tacotia opening up like the original Tacotia. So it knows its history very well, and they serve Coke products in there instead of Pepsi products, which I also think is pretty cool, because personally I like Coke products with Mexican food, especially Mexican Coke. You can never go wrong with that. But I think that about does it. I was like, this sounds really interesting. I wonder if anybody else would like to hear about this. So that's it. That's all I got for you today, and have a good one.